Reprobation. Reprobation, to disapprove of strongly, condemn rather, to reject or abandon, lost in sin. Pastor told me I had 5 to 7 minutes, so I kind of like cut down, like ran through and took out some pointers of this. So you all, if you wanted more information, you can kind of look it up on the computer. Research it for yourself, but I'll give you what I got. The original uses a word meaning a mind not approved. It refers to a mind that has been put to the test and has failed. It is a mind that has been condemned and rejected. It is a mind that does not function properly. The proper function of a mind will be to distinguish between what is good and what is evil. Having distinguished between what is good and what is evil, it is the function of a mind to persuade the will to determine that which is good. The function of the mind is not only to distinguish between good and evil, but the mind is to also persuade the will to determine what is according to the will of God. A reprobate mind functions perversely. Suppose that one must give testimony in a certain case. A reprobate mind distinguishes between what is true and what is a lie concerning his case. But at the same time, this mind complies all kind of lies and persuades the will to tell which is the lie. That is a reprobate mind. A reprobate mind is a mind that distinguishes between good and evil, but persuades one to determine that which is evil. What is the sin? Pastor asked us 3 things. What is a reprobate mind? What was the cause of it? And can you come back? So listen very carefully. What was the sin? The sin was that they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. That is, they did not want to keep the truth of God in their mind. They knew God, but they did not want to keep this knowledge of God in their mind. The original uses a strong expression. The original means that they did not think God worthy to keep in mind. They knew God. They considered whether they should keep God in their mind. They came to the conclusion that God was not fit to keep in mind. Did they know any better? Was it an error on their part? No. But they wanted to live in unrighteousness. It was not an intellectual error. It was a moral question. They did not want to keep God in their mind. Even if they did not see fit to keep God in their mind, so God gave them over to an unfit mind, to do things that are unfit, because it must become manifest that he who does not think God fit to keep in mind must run to destruction. Must run to destruction. What are the possible fruits of sin? The next verse tells us God gave man over to a reprobate mind. The result that it begins to bear every possible fruit of corruption, so that he becomes filled with every possible unrighteousness. This is expressed in verse 28. Man does things that are unseemly. The inner motive bears fruit in action. The man that is full of envy, etc., begins to act. What does he do? He do things that are unseemly. Notice that the text says that this is the intended result. God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do things which are not convenient. This is God's purpose. This is the purpose of his anger. The purpose of God is not to hold the sinner back. The purpose is that the sinner become manifested in all his folly and corruption.
Okay. I want you to deal with that third question. Then we can,
okay.
See the question.
Okay.
Is it possible for a person who has been turned over to a reprobated mind, is it possible for that individual to be saved?
No. It is not possible to come back because God has gave you over. When you have been given over, like in the case of Saul in the Old Testament, if you can remember, I think Samuel was praying for him and God told him to stop because he was rejected. Once you are rejected by God, there's nothing you can do. Okay. I hope that you all
And the verses that pertain to what we're talking about is starting at verse 21. But the particular verses that you need to look at is verse 24. It said, "Wherefore,